Weekend edition of Simply Bitcoin. Welcome. We break down the news from Twitter, the Daily Fail, meme review, software releases, and the websites by plebes or plebs. Drop us a like, subscribe. Let's do this. Number time. At the time of this recording, the block height is 682,762. The Bitcoin price, 57,420. Chain rewrite days, 610. Total lightning capacity, 1,263.52. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 8.94. And sats per dollar. I feel like I read the same number 2 days ago. 1,742.
Man, another day consolidating, another day at these prices. And because we're just stuck at these levels, Phil, it's crazy because Bitcoin Twitter is just absolutely consuming itself.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. I'm even seeing Bitcoiners coming out and like that's why like I saw like some Bitcoiners that are all of a sudden like cheering their fucking, their secret shitcoin bags. That's it. I've got enough courage. I'm going to come out and tell you that Bitcoin sucks because I made like 10%.
Man. And they're gonna, and you can clearly tell it's their first cycle because they're gonna get so wrecked.
Exactly, they're all excited, Like, I'm holding Bitcoin, but I secretly hold these shitcoins, and now that some of them are pumping, here I go. I'm gonna tell you how I was closetly right. Nah, you weren't. Give it a couple months. You're gonna see how fucking wrong you were.
Now we know. We know you're a fraud, but it's
now we know you're a shitcoiner, and now your bags are about to go way down. Like, think about the people who freaking who bought Doge, right? Going into this thinking Elon's going to push this crap on Saturday Night Live, waking up to a 40% decline this morning. Yeah, good job. The money of the people. And in the meantime, the Cubes doesn't give a shit. He's still a multi-billionaire running some crap basketball team. And now you're a bag holder. Hey, welcome to shitcoining. That's what it's like.
Of a worthless joke coin.
Terrible. No. And that wasn't even our fail yet.
Oh my God.
All right.
Yeah, great. But guys, just hold on. Everything's gonna work itself out. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily Fail. All right, fellow Bitcoiner, pleb, at Beef or Bacon 1, helped us out. Found us some Daily Fail. So what did he find us exactly? I know, right? We're thinking Edward Snowden. Like, how could that be our fail? But unfortunately, it is. Yeah. And he does have a blue check mark, which does make you wonder. Anyways, okay, so what am I talking about, right? The worst part of cryptocurrency transforming into dragon-level wealth is witnessing good people emotionally de-evolve into dragons themselves. So intellectually paralyzed by the fear that everyone they see threatens their horde that they lose sight of the world beyond their cave. Oh, God. So what's he talking about, right? Well, let's see. This now dives into an Alex Gladstein tweet, okay? So here we go. And we had him on last week. So anyways, respect at Snowden for his work on privacy and criticisms of CBDCs, but this clip is a disaster. Here's the TLDR. Taproot makes Bitcoin privacy worse. Lightning is shenanigans. He attacks the core devs and hypes NFTs and privacy coins. Okay, look, guys, this is really, this is awful, coming, especially from somebody like Edward Snowden. It's difficult, right? It's two-sided because, he's done a lot of, he has done, I believe, a lot of good in exposing a certain amount of information. But at the same time, right, when he goes into stuff like this, right? Taproot makes Bitcoin privacy worse and Lightning is shenanigans. Look, okay? Lightning is not shenanigans. It's the same thing, it's the same thing as people who sit there. Nobody that's actually used ETH knows that it works, okay? It doesn't. It's a piece of shit. I've used ETH, okay, when I was a shitcoiner and it was garbage and I ended up losing money. Okay, and I'm not even talking about fees, right? You can have some shitcoin where they change the smart contract, and then all of a sudden, all your shitcoins are worthless unless you know to go and figure out to transfer them and do all this crap. Bitcoin has none of this confusing garbage drama, okay? So going back to Lightning, these naysayers that say that Lightning is shenanigans, it's garbage, it's a scam, if you've actually used it, you understand it's not. You've seen it work. You've had that light bulb go on and you're like, holy crap, this is amazing. Okay, that's what ends up happening. So kind of really bad on Edward Snowden for that. NFTs, really? Really? Like, you're sitting there talking about tyrannical governments and you know, you have all these like strong philosophical takes and you're going to shill digital fucking beanie babies online and pretend that they have value. And again, right? We're not saying you can't make money off garbage. Okay. Bernie Madoff had a Ponzi scheme for 40 years. It was still a scam. Okay. NFTs are going to leave people holding the bag and very, very bitter. Okay. And then the last piece to this with the privacy tokens, okay, or first of all, many of the privacy coins are just tokens on Ethereum. They're not really private. It's just garbage, okay? Now, the one that has a use case that people actually like, Monero, okay? So you can't verify the total supply of Monero because the base layer is completely obfuscated, okay? So the only use case that people actually validate is that they transfer their BTC into Monero to make a sketchy fucking purchase, okay? And that's it. But it's never a store of value. You cannot do this with an obfuscated base layer. You have no clue how many there are. That's not where you put your value. Anyways, that's my rant. Total fail. I'm kind of shocked. I'm really surprised at Edward Snowden.
Yeah, look, before I give my opinion, I just want to say, Phil, I'm nominating that for #1 Phil rant because that was phenomenal. I think you covered it. I think you covered it great. But yeah, look, Phil, here's just another example of someone that doesn't know a lot about Bitcoin, but because of his fiat reputation, right? You know, a lot of people, you know, they see us like, oh, Edward Snowden must be right. No, your PhDs, your fiat economist, your billionaire status, it means nothing here. You either have to humble yourself to learn Bitcoin or you're going to have fun staying poor and you're not going to understand Bitcoin. It's just that, it's that black and white. And it just blows my mind. It's just another example of someone, you know, like we saw this with the Lex Friedman, the Lex Friedman debacle that's currently happening, right? Look, just because you come in here and just because you have all this reputation and credentials and whatever, man, humble yourself. And that's it. That's that, man. And again, shout out Jack Dorsey and Twitter for letting us know with the blue check mark. That was phenomenal. Phil, it's a perfect time for
the Daily Meme Review.
All right, everybody. The meme for today is brought to us by a meme lord. One of the meme lords responsible for the laser ray until 100. RD. You can go follow him at RD_BTC if you want the best memes. But anyways, let's check it out.
That's how you feel when that's how you feel when you're shitcoining. Do I trade this?
Okay.
Very well done.
Phenomenal meme. Wow. Because it was such a phenomenal meme, I'm going to give it a very unique score. I'm going to give it not my iPhone, but my iPhone D brand case. It's one of a kind. It's the robot camo.
Ooh.
Anyways, Phil, what are you going to give it?
Very nice. Okay, love the meme. Total fan of Indiana Jones. Grew up watching Indiana Jones. Always wanted to find some treasure map. Like, this was like the whole thing, right? Anytime you'd go out anywhere that you hadn't been, you'd want to find a treasure map and hopefully find some buried treasure or some cave. Anyways, that being said, though, I'm going the opposite direction and I'm going tech on this thing with a multimeter.
A multimeter. I actually know what that is. That's awesome, dude. very good scores, a D-brand iPhone case, and a multimeter for a phenomenal meme from RD. Definitely go check it out. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
The Daily News, sponsored by
Crypto Cloaks.
The number dropped?
yes.
How does the number drop?
All right, everybody, a Taproot activation update. Not looking so good.
Oh, fuck.
We actually went down from yesterday, Phil. Check this out. Only 42%.
So what, these people unsignaled?
So it looks like what this points out to me, Phil, is that these mining pools their infrastructure is not all unison, right? It looks like it's different. How do I put this? Different miners are using different pools within the mining pool, or the whole mining pool and different miners in that mining pool are not using the same software. That's what this tells me, right? Again, I'm not a technical guy, I'm a conceptual guy. So if I F that up in technical jargon, make sure to correct me down in the comments. But anyways, Phil, it's
What the hell, man? We were at 59.74 yesterday, and now we're at like 42. That's garbage.
It looks like we're headed for user activated soft fork.
All right, here we go.
We'll have to bend the arm of the miners. But anyways, on a more, I wouldn't call it positive, but it is a really good, I would say, Phil, when I read this comment, it literally played it touched a heartstring. But anyways, to quote it, it's from El Sultan Bitcoin. He's a Venezuelan living in Bitcoin. And to read his description, he saved his family's wealth with Bitcoin. But to read this thread, it's an excellent thread. Take a closer look. Do you see that small reddish area in South America? That's Venezuela, a place where the banking system is disconnected from the rest of the global financial system, where accumulated inflation surpasses 1 million%, right? And he goes on to say, Phil, and this part is for you, Charlie Munger doesn't come from a communist country where a bus driver became president, created a currency collapse in just 3 years, sent the military to kill teenagers protesting for democracy. Charlie Munger is wrong. Bitcoin is defending civilization's interests. So this is exactly what this is the message that we were telling you guys, right? Where Charlie Munger is saying, like, this isn't a good step for humanity.
I think I should say modestly that I think the whole damn development is disgusting and contrary to the interests of civilization.
Yeah, you psychopath. That's just because you're the main benefitter from a financial system, right? From the Cantillon effect, and you don't live in over half the country that's unbankable to your system, you know. So it just goes to show, man. What he said was evil, dude. It was evil. Phil?
Yeah, Bitcoin is the tool for monetary freedom, and people like Charlie Munger are nothing but just total, like, just totalitarian monsters, you know. Like these people, you know, they think that they're so right because they stand where they stand and have access, you know, to the resources that they have. And I'm sorry, but you know what? That doesn't work for everyone. Okay, this system hasn't worked in a very long time. Okay, I think at the very least, the fairest thing we could have is proper money, and we do not have that. Okay, like, you want to play shenanigans at higher levels, by all means, but at the very least, we should all have the even playing field of proper money.
Absolutely. And that's exactly why Charlie Munger hates it, because it's no longer a rigged system towards him. But Phil, okay. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say he's not going to be around to watch his grandkids become poor, so it doesn't matter.
I agree. And look, Phil, the reason that I wanted to pull up that thread about Venezuela and about the hyperinflation of how Bitcoin essentially saved El Sultan Bitcoin. Check this out. Just because it hasn't happened here doesn't mean it can't happen. It looks like the economy is starting to show some signs, right? Mm-hmm. Some effects of this ridiculous money printing that has happened. This is a video from Tucker Carlson tonight, and it was from May 7, 2021. I'm just going to play you a short clip.
Things that you buy and need to buy are more expensive than they've ever been. Inflation is real, it's galloping. Yet at the same time, a lot of products seem to have gone missing completely. The United States is currently experiencing shortages of chicken, generators, roofing materials, lumber, ketchup, bicycles, diapers, ammunition, automobiles, plastics, appliances, chlorine, pork, propane tanks, among many other things. Keep in mind, this is peacetime. We haven't mobilized for a foreign war. Yet we're now getting reports that we should brace for a gas shortage this summer. Why is this all happening? Well, because things are so great in the economy. That's what they're telling us on television.
So Tucker is absolutely right. If you were to listen to the Fed's metric, right, if you listen to whatever, there's no inflation. But if you look at all the signs, right, all the ridiculous costs of lumber, the raising housing prices, the raising food prices, the raising gas prices. The reason I picked that Venezuela thread before is because one of the first signs of inflation, of hyperinflation, was everything Mr. Tucker Carlson just pointed out. That's exactly what happens. Remember when they said food shortages in Venezuela? Remember when they said there's no toilet paper? Remember when they said that there's no gas, even though the country has the world's biggest oil reserves? This is exactly what happens. This is the result of massive money printing. And exactly what Tucker said. Why is it that the authorities at B say everything's fine? The economy's good. If you don't want to deal with this madness and these lies, buy the soundest money that ever existed in human history and opt out of that madness. Phil?
Yeah, I was actually at Target yesterday, and this is something that, why haven't the store shelves replenished fully? Like, why is it still difficult to find, normal household items? Like, there's not as much variety as there was, okay? You could see what they're doing with their product placement. They're spacing things out, and don't even think for a second that shit has anything to do with social distancing, okay? Spreading clothing out on a store floor has nothing to do with social distancing. If you have less stock, you need to spread it out more so your store doesn't look empty. And that's what's happening. Not only that, but anybody who's actually ordering things, I personally, I ordered an e-bike like 2 months ago or 3 months ago or something like that. That stuff is taking forever to get here, and I know that there's some of them that aren't, but absolutely, you can see that, the shipping times are taking longer. Prices are creeping up. But
hey,
and I mean, huh?
But hey, Phil, remember, there's no inflation.
Well, no, there's no inflation, and we're building back better, right? Didn't we have all those people like on all those different news channels and all the commercials are building back better? Really? So that's like empty store shelves and people not able to get their necessities better.
It's almost as if they're preparing us for us to eat worms and own nothing by 2030 and be happy.
Come on. Are you suggesting that people would only be eating chicken, turkey, or beef once a year on special occasions? No way.
Who could think that?
Who could think of that?
Oh man. But hey, listen, looks like
we're not even gonna have vegetables.
It looks like the Great Reset guys are gonna be very surprised when the Great Reset's gonna come from Bitcoin. Opt out. Get out of that madness. But anyways, Phil, I loved your tweet. I definitely want to bring it up today. Just to quote a fellow Simply Bitcoin co-host, the legendary Coin Icarus, there is no such thing as clean blocks. This is an insidious attack on Bitcoin and it won't work. It only takes one miner to mine these transactions. I can't say that word on YouTube, won't, right? But of course, you were referencing it pretty much what happens, what we reported the day of, right? Marathon Group, the Mara pool, mined and excluded transactions that the Office of Foreign Asset Control whatever didn't agree of, right? But it was so badass because the mining block that they mined, right? It looks like someone sent them a transaction, and in the OP return, which you could write a message, someone said, "Thank you for supporting our cause" in Arabic, right? Just kind of a big middle finger. And this article just came out completely by accident, and it just points out exactly how absurd it is to mine an OFAC compliant compliant block because it looks like in Iran, which is exactly one of those countries that the OFAC doesn't agree with, is essentially doing the same thing. Iran reportedly banning trading of Bitcoin mined abroad, right? According to an announcement shared by Iran International, the central bank of Iran has banned its citizens from trading Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency and shitcoin and Bitcoins mined in foreign countries, right? So it's a great example of why the OFAC compliant blocks would never work. Because essentially all it takes is Iranian mining pools accepting the transactions that weren't deemed worthy, and it was just a waste of time. In fact, it's causing the Mara pool fees and income just to stay compliant for absolutely no reason, because the transactions in questions are going to go in anyways, right? This is just how absurd it is and how desperate the fiat gatekeepers are trying to hold on to power. Anyways, Phil.
Compliant with what? Right? Like, think about it. Like, we made up these rules to keep us in power. You need to be compliant with that. Like, fuck you. You know, these people that it's so disgusting. I really, to a certain extent, I do weep for humanity when we know that there are people like this that really just, they don't realize that they are imprisoning their own future generations by participating in, number one, governing bodies like this, number two, in activities like this. So, yeah.
Listen, at least it's entertaining to watch.
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely entertaining to watch. And I love it that they're getting the middle finger. And, you got, at the same time, right? We all got to remember, we really do. Everybody deserves monetary freedom. Okay, everybody should have monetary freedom. That is something that this has been one of the biggest problems that we've had on this planet.
Absolutely,
and it's changing. So you know what? Fuck these organizations.
Fuck them. And speaking of corrupt organizations, Phil, we are not only witnessing the disintermediation of money, but we're also witnessing the disintermediation of information, right? But check this out. Check out the latest propaganda from mainstream media. This crypto claims to solve Bitcoin's biggest problem. What is that? God. Bitcoin may be the king of cryptocurrencies, but it's facing an environmental backlash over the energy-intensive technology underpinning it. A new crypto called Chaya says it's the eco-friendly alternative. Ooh. But wait, Phil, there's more.
There's always more.
Bank of England governor says investors should only buy crypto if prepared to lose all your money. Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey has a blunt message for those investing in crypto. Buy them only if you're prepared to lose all your money. So what you're seeing here, Phil, is this is mainstream media, a propaganda arm of the establishment, right? Trying to keep a narrative. The problem is that on the internet, the truth always comes out. Let's take a look at the Bank of England's pound sterling and how it compares to Bitcoin. Oh, it looks like... Wait a second. Hold on. That can't be right. No, buy them only if you're prepared to lose all your money.
What?
But wait.
Did they look at their own chart?
Did they switch it? I think they meant to talk... I think they were talking about the pound, to be honest. Because it looks like if you had your money in the pound and not in Bitcoin... Bitcoin essentially makes the pound look like a shitcoin, and that's exactly what it is. It's a shitcoin. So Andrew Bailey of the United Kingdom's central bank, whatever, have fun staying poor, my friend. And that's exactly what the projector did. Put a giant image of Bitcoin fixes this on the Central Bank of England. That's what you're up against. We will meme you out of existence. Phil?
You know what? That whole eco-friendly coin crap. Okay. Like, this is, again, right? This is more of that narrative that, people just do not understand the benefits that Bitcoin mining will have in the long run compared to any other system that we currently have. Okay. And it's okay. Right now, people don't understand it. It's, it's confusing and they have their bullshit narratives that they've been brainwashed to believe ever since they were kids. And so they are going to make an enemy of Bitcoin, come hell or high water. They are going to die on that cross. Okay, I am so sorry, but that is exactly what's going to happen. And that whole thing about the Bank of England, really prepare to lose everything, and then we just saw exactly like how much inflation, right? How much is their dollar worth? What is happening to their money? How badly decimated is it? Really? This is what you're going to try to do. You're going to try to scare people out of monetary freedom so that they can keep their wealth in something that's always going down and losing. Like, dude, I don't know, man. He must have been confused. He must have been confused, because all we're seeing is the pound sterling being worth jack shit. And to me, if you're going to hang on to that, prepare to lose everything.
Man, it's funny, dude. It's funny, and they're just, man, they're freaking out. They don't know. They don't understand. It can't compute in their head. They're just so used to that power. And I'm not only talking about the financial establishment. I'm talking about the media establishment as well. You see them melting down. They can't have it. They can't have dissenting opinions. They can't have it that anybody that wants to become a broadcaster like them could just make a Twitter account, could just make a YouTube channel, and hey, people are gonna watch you because you're telling the truth, unlike the crazy propaganda that they pout out every day and they call it news. But man, this is just so much fun.
Yeah.
Phil, there was a software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases. All right, everyone. It looks like we've got fully noted version 0.2.17 that was released, and that is down below in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. All right, guys, that was the weekend edition of Simply Bitcoin. You know what to do. If you enjoyed the show, smash that like button. Smash it.
And it's a song now.
It's a song. Smash it. Okay. And of course, if you want to continue hearing the news from the Bitcoin perspective and the catastrophic shitcoin and fiat fails, definitely consider subscribing, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you Tuesday for another episode. Tuesday of Simply Bitcoin. Simply Bitcoin. Simply Bitcoin.